Okay. The reason why I'm here is that often people ask me how is the Finnish games industry doing at the moment. Because saying we are doing quite good isn't quite enough, at least for journalists. I have developed a little bit longer answer, which I will share with you now. So, okay, we are doing good at the moment. But if we take a look at the structure of the Finnish games industry, how does it look like? So first of all, one of the biggest misconception is that we are a new industry. So we were born alongside about the same time as Rovio and Angry Birds emerged. It's not actually true. At the moment, we are around 20 years old industry. So we calculate the 20 years from the establishment of the oldest still existing studios, Housemarque and Remedy. Housemarque was established 95 in June and Remedy was established 95 in September. So this is a kind of anniversary for us, 20 years of game development, professional game development or game industry in Finland. So this is something which is new for at least most of the media people. And actually a couple of days ago we had this kind of Finnish Game Awards gala where we celebrated this 20 years anniversary, and there is going to be couple of other occasions this year also where we are celebrating these 20 years. We have at the moment, somebody asked about the education. You can find the education from our website. All the education is not on our website, but most of the education is listed on our website. So there is 20 educational institutions we know offering game education in all educational levels. There is second degree, there is polytechnics, and there is also university level education. And if you have been involved in games industry, you know that we have some organizations which are taking care of the industry from their own point of view. One of them is IGDA, Finland Association. How many of you is member of IGDA? Yeah, so you know the story with the IGDA. Every month, the Finnish game developer gather together certain place to drink beer, which is sponsored by some company. It's a very simple plan, but it works. Usually we have something like 300-400 people in IGDA gatherings. So it basically means that the restaurant is full of game developers. Then there is of course us. We have been established 2003. We are 12 years old organization. We are kind of hub or umbrella organization for the game, or for the whole game industry. Then there is Finnish Game Developer Studios Association, also known as Suomen pelinkehittäjät. And then there is one association which was actually awarded in our gala, which is Finnish Game Jam Association. Organizing game jams last year, we had over 700 people participating to game jams, and there were, I think, 15 sites all over in Finland. Not only in capital area, but also in places like Kajaani and so on. Okay, so this is basically some kind of background. 20 years doing things, education available, different kind of organizations offering services for the games industry. But when we look at the studios, well, Finnish game studios are mainly young companies and startups. 179 studios have been established in the last 4 years. So there is a lot of newcomers, there is a lot of startup studios, and that's basically something which is kind of structure of the Finnish games industry at the moment, that there is a lot of startups. But some of those startups are so-called second round startups. With a second round startup, I mean that, okay, they have been in the games industry before, they know what they do. There is companies like Next Games, seriously, around 20 of those established by people who have a long history and long background in the games industry. And if we, for instance, take a look about the investments made to the Finnish games industry, most of those investments have been made to those second round startup studios. And on the other hand, 20 years, so we have 17 companies which are older than 10 years. Of course, everybody remembers Remedy, Housemarque, Puckbeer, Redlings. So altogether 17 companies which are older than 10 years. So here is graphics about that. And in total we have at the moment in our list there is little bit more than 260 companies. This was the situation in the end of 2014. After that I know that there has been at least 5 to 7 companies have been established after that. So I have 5 minutes time or? Okay. Yeah, and if you take a look at the location of the studios, most of the studios are in capital area, and 38% of the studios are in capital area. The role of capital area as a startup or hub is actually decreasing. Some years ago it was over 50. Our last study, it was around 45 or something like that, and now it's 38. But if you think about the effect of the studios in capital area, still around 85% of the employees and over 95% of the turnover is coming from the studios in capital area. But if you are living some remote places like Turku, there is also possibility to work in the games industry, which is a miracle. I'm from Tampere, by the way, so it's natural for me to make jokes about Turku. Yeah, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to argue with you this time. Yeah, one of the major platforms at the moment is mobile. 85% of the companies are making games to the mobile platforms only or also to the mobile platforms. And even some older, bigger studios are operating in mobile space. For instance, if we think about studios like Remedy, everybody knows they are doing Quantum Break, which is a AAA title, but they are also developing games to the mobile platforms. So this is basically quite a typical thing for the Finnish industry. We are very mobile in a way that companies are interested in mobile, and there is a lot of things happening in the mobile space. And if we take a look at the big successes, some of them or most of them have been on mobile side. If we late ones, for instance, Angry Birds, Supercell, Clash of Clans, Heyday, but on the other hand, we have to remember games like Alan Wake and the latest Hate, which was City Skyline by Colossal Order. I think that Marina is going to have a speech to you later today. Yeah, so iOS, no surprise, no brainer. iOS is the most popular, but Android is very near. And I don't actually know what is the reason for Windows Mobile for being so popular. If you think about Windows Mobile, the penetration of the platform is around something between 3 to 5%. So it's not a big major platform, but I think that App Campus has something to do with this. So there has been this Microsoft Nokia App Campus project, and companies have been developing games to the mobile platforms.
It has been in Aalto-University. We have been the third partner.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. So, but PC online, and the one thing is that actually Facebook, which used to be a huge platform some years ago, it has never been too popular in Finland. Actually, at the moment, there is almost as big number companies developing games to Oculus Rift and virtual reality devices as to Facebook, which is kind of strange things. Either Facebook, in a way, if you historically think about Facebook is a wave we, as an industry, missed totally. There were only a handful of companies doing the Facebook games. Yeah, so number of employees, 2,500 in the end of the year 2014. And our estimate is that the industry itself is estimating, we asked this from the companies, that they are going to employ at least 300 people this year, 300 more people. So the number of the employees in the end of the year 2015 should be something like almost 3,000. So it's quite a big growth. It's around 10% from the total number of employees. And if you take a look at the figures, there has been quite a big increase from 2010. So almost 1,500 people more than some years ago. Yeah, no, when we go to the turnover, it's the figure we have been following since 2004. The reason why we are following this figure, what is the turnover of the industry, is obvious, because we are using it as a tool when we are talking with the Finnish government, because Finnish government is more interested in bigger amount of money than smaller amount of money. So it's easier for us to kind of convince government to invest through Tekes, for instance, to games industry, if we can show some figures. And they are kind of impressive. For instance, in 2010, the turnover was 100 million euros. And it wasn't bad, actually. Compared to the other industries, other creative industries, it was quite a good figure. But last year it was 1.8 billion euros. Most of it came, of course, from Supercell, which made a huge profit and huge turnover. But still, the figure has raised tremendously from the 2010. So this kind of proves our case to the government that, okay, investing to the games industry or development of the games industry or giving people game education might be a good idea. I kind of think that this figure kind of makes our point clear. Okay, but this was my presentation this time. How many minutes do I have? 10 still. I had 10 minutes 7 minutes ago. Okay. So is there something you want to ask at this point?
All right, let's try if this goes better this time.
All right. I would like to ask which marketing, if you are going to be in the industry, if you are kind of trying to found a new company in the industry, what is the most marketing potential in current situation? Because in mobile businesses, I think the market is kind of getting quite full of mobile companies. Where's the marketing potential, what has not been looked at currently?
Well, it's a good question, and it's a very relevant question for small startups. As you said, mobile space is full at the moment. And for instance, if we take a look at the figures, how much money some companies are spending for user acquisition only through different venues or different channels, it's huge amount of money. So getting to be seen in the mobile market, it's not easy at the moment. And company startups are at the moment looking for new venues or new ways to be recognized in the mobile space. One of the things which has emerged lately is vloggers. Companies are using vloggers as marketing. So video bloggers doing video things and sharing them in YouTube. It's one of the new venues. But I think that there is not easy way to do it in the mobile space at the moment. And anyway, if you are trying to do some more marketing in mobile space, it's going to be quite costly to you. So to be honest, it's a very difficult market for small startups at the moment. But what we have seen is that more and more companies are actually going from mobile to, for instance, PC Steam. And the reason for this is obvious. Steam is not so crowded at the moment. It's easier to be seen in Steam platform. And I know some companies which have actually started for doing mobile, primarily mobile games. Nowadays, the mobile platform is a secondary platform for them. They are doing the Steam game first, and then they are basically milking the long tail through the mobile. So that's one way of doing it. But this is very relevant question, and I don't have a silver bullet for it. If I had, I would sell it to somebody with gajillions of dollars.
I thought so. I actually myself thinking there might be actually some potential in, for example, console business in these new generation consoles, because.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And basically the wisdom is that if you are a small you have to do something differently, because if you are trying to play the big boys game, you are probably going to lose. It's like having a boxing night with Mike Tyson. It would maybe last half a second or something like that. Do you have something else? Okay.
Questions?
It was.
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't have more.
Okay.
I don't have more.
Oh, I thought that you have. Okay.
Okay, if you don't have any more questions, I think that I have pretty much spent my 15, 10, 12, 20 or something minutes, and it's time to go on. But thank you for coming, and I hope that you didn't get too depressed about this. I have tendency to depress people. I don't know what's the reason for that. But have a good day here in Aalto, and we have actually a booth over there. So there is some. If you are interested in figures like I am, I love numbers. So I have some numbers for you. Okay, thank you.